Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Ironbark Podcast, and I am your host, Epion. Today we are going to talk about justice for Sealy McSealface. That's right, we need justice. Justice for Sealy McSealface. Who is Sealy McSealface? It's a made-up name I designated to a seal. So I don't know if you've been watching recently, but there's been some news. Elon's recently been tweeting, that's Elon Musk, that over government regulation is impacting his ability to do business. One of the things he pointed out was impacting his ability to do business happened to be with his company SpaceX. And he said that the government regulators wanted him to basically, in his words, kidnap seals. I think he said tie them up and make them put headphones on them and make them listen to the sound of a sonic boom and see if it bothers them. Kind of a weird thing to do. I'm going to try to unpack this the best I can. So in his point of view, it's kind of like, I was approved for this multi-billion-dollar company. It's involved in national security for the country, as well as giving internet and satellites up into space, as well as being kind of just like this big pivotal national pride to be like, hey, we're going to go to Mars. So that all has been approved and sanctioned by the government beforehand. Now, if you're going to retroactively come in and say, hey, like, we might have some environmental concerns here, or this and that, or this and the other, it's kind of like a lot of this should have already been factored in before, like, these billion-dollar deals were done and these buildings were made and all that kind of stuff. So that's like his point of view, right? And it makes sense. It tracks. It's logical. It's rational. It follows, step by step logic. It's like, yeah, like, how can you come in now? What, you want me to like pull the rug on billions of dollars as all these people that are employed here, all this stuff, and like just cancel all these planned missions and contracts and so on and so forth, and maybe impact national security as well. So it's kind of an interesting thing. And then it's like, okay, let's look at the conservationist side of it. Okay, you have these seals. Rockets going off constantly, if they're nearby, could disrupt them, maybe, depending on how close it is, right? All that sort of thing, and frequency and time of year. Like, is it mating season? Are they like just so happen to be avoiding like an orca or like a shark or something at that specific moment? And it's kind of like, okay, so you put headphones on them to see if the sound of a sonic boom bothers them. And that's kind of weird because a sonic boom is sort of like it's like kind of like there's like a feeling or like an impact with that as well. And it's like you couldn't actually put like a sonic boom close up to your ear. I think it would like blow your eardrum, right? Like, so it's kind of like a weird thing. And then it's like, how do we know what the actual seal is experience? Like, what is it experiencing? Like when it hears the sound, like, is it just distressed in general because it's basically been quote unquote kidnapped and it's kind of like tied up and now it has like weird headphones on? To me, that would say the animal's just distressed from that whole situation. You couldn't even really accurately take a reading or a measurement of if that seal is distressed or not. So it almost kind of seems like who's who's evaluating the seal's behavior? Like, what are the biometrics? Like, what are it almost kind of just seems like some sort of weird like ploy or something, because it's like, what are the like, is this a standard practice? Like, was this just something they made up because they're like, well, we should see if the sounds are bothering them, and it's like this creative thing they came up with? Because I've never really heard about this at all. I've never heard about that ever, like in the history of anything. I don't know. It hasn't crossed my path. Maybe it's crossed somebody else's. It's an interesting. It seems too creative, but it's just kind of like out there a little bit. So I definitely kind of see his point of view, Elon's point of view, a lot more on this subject. Like, if you're saying the sonic boom is harmful to the animal, that's another thing entirely. If they just are displeased by it, it's kind of, I don't know, like animals are probably displeased by highways. They're probably displeased. So it's about finding balance, right? That's how it is. Like, humans have to be able to exist on this planet with animals as well. So it doesn't mean humans have to stop everything, right? Like, that's not how it works. There's just consideration for wildlife so that there can be some sort of harmony met. There's different things you could do with that. Make sure they're out of the close areas before launch. You get some guy to whip around on an ATV, kind of maybe shoo them into the ocean, so that way, they'll be submerged during the more likely to be submerged during the blast off of the rocket. Just sort of maybe things like that, right? Maybe just kind of pinpointing down if it's like a birthing season, but they probably don't even birth there, but it's like if it's something that's very crucial and it usually happens within a week span, you can time ahead of that. You can look at that and be like, okay, this is something you have to incorporate into the schedule. So I don't know, it's all kind of just seems weird. And I guess Elon's point was that we're causing undue hardship to like this seal just to see if it likes noises, which doesn't even seem to be something that's based in like scientific reality for determining whether something likes something or not, right? Like I don't know, it's up in the air, and now there's kind of like this like meme. It's kind of being memed a little bit. It's like it's like I replied to the post. I posted a picture of the seal because he didn't have a picture of the seal when he made the post, so I replied with a picture and I said, none of the other seals believe him. It's like kind of like an alien abductee, like he's been abducted. Nobody believes him, because who would, right? It's like, these humans captured me, they tied me up, they put headphones on me, cranked the bass, put on, Skrillex. Like it's just so weird. Like, like, and then it's funny, and then it's like, then they released me. They didn't want anything from me. It's like, nah, you're fucking lying. That's made up. Humans didn't do that to you. Stop looking for attention. What are you doing here? What are you doing, huh? But it's just like, I don't know. It was kind of funny. It went a little viral. I want to say it's going to hit 1,000 likes at some point. A lot of reposts. I think some people interpreted it differently than others. I'm not too sure. It seems like most people got the joke, because the replies to that to my reply was kind of like, okay, people catch the play here. They're not that dumb. They're not that stupid. They catch the play. They catch the play. So I'm just going to go over a few other things. We need justice for Sealy McSealface, the little seal that could, the most boopable water snoot you ever booped. This week on October 17th, it was International Sawfish Day. But it's not just for sawfish. It's a day that creates awareness for all critically endangered marine species. But here's the thing with sawfish. They're nearly extinct. And if you accidentally catch one, you should remove any fishing tackle from like their snoots or their, beaks or whatever you want to call them. What's it called again? Hold on, I got it right here. It's called a rostrum. You've got to remove it from the rostrum. They're saw-nose. They might be covered in some line, some fishing tackle. You might find a little lure on there. Just clean that off, put that in your pocket, and throw them back in. Unless it's pointy, don't put it in your pocket. You know what I mean, though. Put it in your tackle box, save for later. To keep it as memento, hanging up in your house. Could be great. So just taking a few extra moments to help release that animal could make the world of a difference. Could save a species. You could be a hero. Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them have lures in their pockets. On October 18th, every day is a day. Every day is a day when it comes to wildlife. And sometimes they share days. It doesn't even make sense. So October 18th was World Okapi Day, and Okapis are the forest giraffe. You may recognize them for having zebra-like legs and sort of like a small, shorter giraffe type of stature. And I just want to I always like to talk about pronghorns any chance I get. And so like in North America, its closest living relative is the pronghorn. Yeah, did you know that? And pronghorns are cool because they're fast as fuck, boy. And they're so fast because there used to be an American cheetah. But it died out. And the pronghorn continued to live because it outran extinction. That's how fast it was. But here's the other thing. The cheetah in Africa is faster than the pronghorn, but the pronghorn can maintain its top speed for a longer duration. So, it's kind of arguable. Like the cheetah can get a higher top speed, but it can't maintain its top speed for as long as the pronghorn can maintain its top speed. You've probably heard that before if you've been listening to the podcast for a long time. All right. Now we're going into one of my thought experiments. You're just going to have to listen to me talk. You're just going to have to listen. Okay. The Tesla drone adventure series. Equipped with LiDAR technology to map Earth's surface through trees and forests, allowing for the discovery of ancient ruins, impact craters, as well as mapping difficult terrain for search and rescue missions in remote locations. With a direct-to-Starlink connection, you'll have the connection to the internet. It can also act as a Wi-Fi router. This will allow you to make contact in remote areas during emergencies, such as an encounter with a landslide, avalanche, or a wildlife mauling from a grizzly bear. Thanks to XAI integration, the drone is capable of DNA analysis of fur, scat, and water, which is extremely useful for biologists, wildlife, and environmental researchers. Further thanks to Tesla FSD AI, the drone is capable of mapping hiking trails, and thanks to sonar and echolocation technology, it can also map caves and bodies of water, as well as detect any harmful concentrations of gases. It will also have a sentry mode to detect body heat signatures that may approach your campsite at night. The drone will fly up in the air and scan for heat signatures. This will alarm you if something like a big bear is getting close to you while you're sleeping. And currently in the alpha stages of development at XAI is Animal Vocal Communication Decoder, which hopes to achieve basic communication between humans and wildlife, such as birds and whales, by studying their vocalizations. It's also capable of full-on conversations and able to access anything on the internet for research purposes. Its retail price is projected around $20,000 to $30,000, with a target consumer demographic being research institutions and outdoor-related agencies. This post is entirely fabricated. This drone is not real and does not exist. It is, however, something that I hope eventually becomes real one day. The future is ambitious, and I believe if we can dream it, we can make it. Ladies and gentlemen, if we ever get a drone like that, I hope it is called the Epion drone, because it came from my fucking brain. It came from my fucking brain, okay? This is the kind of stuff I fucking think about. I want a hiking companion. I want a little drone. I want it to look like Archer from Small Soldiers, the 90s movie. I am Archer, leader of the Gorgonites. And I want it to walk around with me, okay? Okay? That's what I want. I'm a simple man. I'm a simple man. I just want all this groundbreaking technology. And today, if you are listening to this podcast, it is October 20th. And you know what that means? That means today is International Sloth Day. It's a day to raise awareness for sloths and some of the threats they face, such as habitat loss. Habitat loss? We got some habitat loss up in here. But did you know that during the late Pleistocene, there were over 30 species of giant ground sloths? Some were even the size of elephants. Some people believe there may still be some alive today, hiding within dense forests of the Amazon. Some people even attribute Bigfoot or Sasquatch sightings to actually being ground sloth sightings because, like anteaters, they assume that they probably like to get onto their hind feet and do like a battle stance with their arms out with a T-pose. You ever see that? The anteater do the T-pose? Look it up, you won't regret it. Ground sloths could be a Lazarus species, which means one that's been returned from the dead or thought to have been dead and then found again. Or perhaps it's just a cryptid, much like Bigfoot. What do you think? Who knows, right? And then my Wildlife Wednesday video was the Bear Cub video. A remix edition. It's doing a little bit better. I don't know if it's because my audience or followers are growing on X, or if it's just because of how I edit. I'm going to try to edit videos now. I used to like to just give you like straight footage. Bang, boom, unedited, unaltered, bang, boom. This is how I experienced it. I want you to feel what I saw. See what I saw. Seesaw. But that's not what people like, and you got to give the people what they want. You got to give them what they want. So I'm going to give it to you. X going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you on X, okay? Where we at? okay, we're at the 15-minute mark. This might be a small show. Some things I want to do. I'm thinking of starting a nonprofit for planting trees. A part of that nonprofit's mission will also be to remove invasive plant species and maybe try to help with invasive bugs like the tree bugs and stuff like that, to get rid of some of that Dutch elm disease, you know. I think that'd be a really cool nonprofit. I think it would make some really cool community events if we can get some trees in the ground. Everyone wins. I'm pretty good at planting trees, I think. I know a lot of people know me. And I've seen a lot of tree planting. I've planted a lot of trees in my life. Believe me, I've donated plenty of trees. Nobody's as good as planting trees as me. I'm the best. It's true. I walk in here and I say, wow, look at this forest. I planted it. I planted this entire forest. I think I might make a tree house, actually. Yeah. Anyway, folks. I think that's... Oh, no, I gotta tell you about my weekend adventures. We got some videos in the pipes, folks. We got some videos in the pipes. I got 3 decent ones. At least 3 decent ones. I'll start with like the minor to the major. All right. So if I start with super minor, it's actually 4. We got some footage of mule deers. They're kind of just like at the park I was chilling at. Some little old city mule deers, I guess. And then the next one is footage of muskrats, which I thought were baby beavers. And then I was like, oh no, they're just giant rats. Still kind of cute though and cool. I got some decent footage. I'm looking forward to putting that up. What else? I am forgetting one, so I'm just going to skip to the big one. The big one was got some footage of a coyote. He was kind of surrounded by a bit of a murder. I'm not sure, and by murder I mean crows and magpies and ravens. I don't know if the murder is in the footage as well. They might have been off to the side a bit more. There's definitely probably a couple birds in the frame, but the coyote's tearing into like a deceased deer. I think it was roadkill. Pretty cool. Going to try to submit that to NIM. If you don't know what NIM is, because you're not hip with the culture, it's Nature is Metal, and I've been featured on there a couple of times, and I'm just gonna keep on rolling, baby. So that's how I'm gonna do it. Even though like my last feature on there got millions of views, what I get like 6 follows. Getting featured ain't shit, son. It ain't fucking shit. No one gives a fuck. I think NIM's like, maybe it's a lot of bots. I don't know. Because their following is definitely not as big on X, and like they don't get like any likes, replies, nothing. They don't get shit, really. I'm always like first to reply on there. Sometimes I'm the only reply on there. That's like the other killer part. You think Nim could throw me a like on as being his only replier? No. There's some ego there, son. There's some fucking ego. I like everyone that replies to me. Shit. That's how you grow, man. Someone should give this guy a course in X social media growth. Show him how it's done, son. Because that account could be fucking huge. But yeah. Shit, I can't remember what the other video was. What did I do? I walked around. I feel like it was like an animal I haven't recorded before. Got the yote, the muskrats, the muskies. Was that a bird? Can't freaking remember. I don't remember. I thought I had 3 decent videos. I'm going to remember as soon as I'm done this podcast. But anyway, it'll be a surprise. It'll be on a Wildlife Wednesday at some point, or maybe on Nature's Metal in like 2 months from now. Yeah, boy. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that was my weekend. Basically just walked around looking for critters. Looking for critters like a fat man after an apple fritter. You know what I'm saying? thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thank you to everyone who follows me, who comments, who likes, who hits the notification bell, who reposts or quote posts my posts, and I'm hoping perhaps soon I will actually be able to get subscribers, and then people will be able to subscribe to me, which will be interesting because then I feel like I do have to provide exclusive subscriber only content, which will take on the form of a few different things. We'll see. We shall see. There's only so much you can do, right? I think I'm going to do cameo little videos, like little personal daily messages, subscriber only space. I don't know how I could do 2 spaces, public space and subscriber only space. I feel like I got to get like at least 10,000 followers before like those things become meaningful in any capacity. I've joined a couple more communities on X. I'm hoping to hear from perhaps some of you listening right now who are also nature and wildlife content creators or aspiring to be like that. We get you on a podcast, ask, just have a discussion, talk wildlife, talk about our favorite things, what animals we think are cool, our experiences, all that sort of stuff. I want some collabs. I feel like collaborating with other content creators is key, because then we both get exposure to our followers, like our different followers. You gain some of mine, I gain some of yours. It's a symbiotic relationship in nature is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, folks, I passed 2,000 followers. Is that a big deal on X? I know I've already liked that on Instagram, but we're on X now, son. We're on that X. I actually kind of do like, I just wish X had a way to catalog the videos and pictures so that people could just click a tab on my profile and be like, I want to see all this guy's nature videos. I want to see this guy's nature photos. And then my posts being like separate, like a different feed. Because like on Instagram and YouTube, you guys can just go there. Okay, these are his videos. This is his podcast. Oh, on his Instagram. Okay, I can tell which ones are easily pictures and which ones are videos. But on YouTube and Instagram, you don't get like my written stuff, my little articles. You don't get my my posts, my little daily posts, my little replies and stuff like that. So I feel like X you can offer more diversity of content with X. It just isn't meaningfully accessible after like that 48 hour period. It kind of just gets buried under the ether of all your other posts. So people just starting to follow you don't really get to appreciate your old stuff. It's only the stuff you're posting most recently. And sometimes you have some bangers back in the, you got some banger videos. But the plus side of that is that you could, in theory, reuse a lot of old content, re-edit them, re-upload them, and people won't even remember that you uploaded this a year ago. Right? But if you do that on YouTube, they'll go through your library and be like, you fucking made this video in 2018. What the fuck is this? Is it new? You're fucking us over. And like all that kind of stuff, right? So, I don't know. We'll keep the content coming. I do a live space every Thursday. You get a new wildlife video every Wednesday. I was experimenting with a live with a raccoon and a Sasquatch Bigfoot puppet. I don't know how I feel about doing a live where people ask a puppet things. I think that's another thing we have to explore once we get to like 10,000 followers, when it's much more likely that when I start a live, people will join. I feel like there's better utility for live. I'm not quite sure what it is yet. It would just be like a live. I don't know. And then like a spaces with video. I don't have an iPhone, so I can't do it. But at what point, it's basically the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Except other people can talk out loud while they're watching a video of you. It's like, that's literally just one more feature added to live, really. Like you could just keep on adding all these features to spaces, or you could just add one feature to live, which is just like people can talk. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Like the features on X, some of them like the spaces and the live, they're almost converging into being the exact same thing. It's just like, oh, you can toggle video on and off. Like it's going to be the exact same thing at some point. It's just going to be live. It'll all just fall under live eventually. 3, 4, 5 years from now, it's all going to be one thing. All right, folks, that's my rant. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. If you follow me and you're a content creator, I will likely follow back. I'm pretty sure I will. And I'll every time you like my post, I'll click on your little profile there and I'll go and I'll catch up on all your posts. I'll try to like a bunch. Spread that like love around. Cheerio, y'all. Cheerio. Cheery, cheery, yo, yo. Goodbye.